Hello, welcome back to History of Design. All right, what do we got going on? You are making brochures, a foldable brochure as your final big assignment for this class. And one of the hardest things is setting up a proper die line. I'm going to do a standardized die line in Illustrator and in InDesign, okay? I normally do this. I do it very hand-based. Then I took a second and I went online and I found out like one great tip. And I was like, holy crap, this changes everything. Like this made it so much easier. I can't believe it. So I'm going to teach you everything I know and then the proper way to set shit up. So we get it right and we get it darn near right the first time. But you got to remember, everything is adjustable. When we build these things, nothing's like, I can't move a single thing. It's only if you change the size of your document. So I'm going to work on base, meaning I'm just going to do 8.5 by 11. Super boring, super standard, whatever. I'm not going fancy. If you want to go fancy, I want you to contact me and we can work on fancy together. I am all up for it, but like, I don't have enough time. Like, I would love to do it. And I'll sit down with each one of you and work on this. You send it to me, I'll send it back. We'll go into video. How's the best way? And we'll get it set up so it's perfect. It doesn't take that much time, but if you only do it every once in a while, there's a lot of like, how do I do that again? How do I do that again? Again, that's the reason why I give you quote unquote so many assignments. The more you practice, the better you get. If you're just doing one thing a week, you're learning nothing. You got to be like pounding every day on that computer, remembering like when I do this, I get this, I get this, I do this, and I do this. And if I need to remember something I did 6 months ago, we look it up. It's all normal. It's all part of the process. I look stuff all the time. I'm always watching videos. I'm on Skillshare. I got a free, I signed up for a free month of Skillshare as a student. It's not real great, but they're like Aaron Draplin's on there, Chris Pajacek is on there. There's like a Paula Schur on there. Like I'm gonna like do what I can to watch what I can and then cancel after the month. So I'm always watching these things. I'm always doing it. So brochure. Let's set up. Let's do Illustrator and then do InDesign, and make some wonderful templates. I had this one I kind of showed you all last week. Crap, watch this. Delete. I'll save the new one. So let's get into it. And it really is not going to take long. I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to do Illustrator, then InDesign, and I'm going to go slow. And then again, you put in your numbers for what you want. I am just doing a boring, lame 8.5 by 11 just because it's standardized piece of paper that we all know about. If I was doing this myself, boy, I'd be pushing it. I'm like, my mind is going to that poster, like the foldable poster where you have like a poster on one side and then like it would be 4 columns, 2 rows, which would be 8 pages, like on the other, like that's stuck in my head. It was like, if I was going to do this. So, but let's jump in. So I'm going to create a new file. I just clicked on new file and I'll just for shits and giggles, I'm going to go right to print and I'm going to change my points to inches. Why? I don't work in points. Some people, it's his personal preference. I actually, just to tell you the truth, I sometimes work in centimeters, millimeters. I do love that, millimeters and centimeters, but my brain still is like old school, and I haven't moved to the new world way of going to centimeters, which is more standardized. You might have to learn how to start to do that. So my width is 11. My height is 8.5. I'm going to call this brochure. 4-fold brochure. Why not like name it right away? You know what I'm saying? So width, inches, height, boom. Orientation. This is the blue guy. That's the one. I want 2 artboards, front and back. My bleed on this, I'm going with a 1/4 inch bleed, not a 1/2 inch. 1/4 inch should be enough, I hope. CMYK, great. 300 PPI, yeah, great. and then I'm going to hit create. So we have our setup here, right? 2 pages side by side. Oh, the other thing I want you to do is check this distance. So if you go file, document setup, where is it listed again? You can change the distance between the artboards if you don't like it. It's not art document. And I think maybe you have to do it at the very beginning. So I'm just going to go home. I just want to show you that you can do that. Oh, more settings. So if you go under more settings here, that spacing, you can change it. And sometimes I change it to 1. I don't know how it picks this weird 83333. Excuse me. I sometimes just change it to 1. But I don't always. And I know I've had sometimes where it comes across and they're real tight. And I'm like, oh, I don't want them touching. Like you don't want overlap on your images. You just want to make sure that like you have enough room. All right, let's do, so we're going to do like three levels and it's going to be so easy. What do we have? We have our margins. And then we're going to do folds. And just to like double up on this, I'm going to call it margin and guides. All right. So this is it. So this is our main setup. Now we need 4 pages in this. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to divide this up. Here's the way to do it. I'm going to do 1 page at a time. And then we're just going to copy it and paste it. I'm going to zoom in for us all. So 8.5 by 11, I'm going to draw this out. And then I'm going to go to properties. And I want my personal margin, I want it at 10 by 7.5. No, that's not right. I did this with you guys last week. I want it 10.5 and 7. 8. You know what? I sneezed and my nose, and then now I'm like, God, I better not be a cold. So I think it was just a freak sneeze that's hanging on. Now we have it 10.5 by 8, and that's my size. I want a 1/4 inch bleed all the way around. Okay, remember this. Remember everybody, most people. I don't want any fill on this. 0 fill, 0 red line. I want my stroke to be magenta. I'm going to go down here. I need to clear out these recent colors. I've been looking up how to try to clear those, and I hear you can't. You can only hide it. Or maybe you can limit how many you see. I think it's very useful for some things, but I got to get to the useful bit. So 0 fill, 1 point magenta stroke, center it, center it. All right. Now, that's it. I'm going to grab this, and I have that now selected. I'm going to go to Object, go to Path, and go to Split into Grid. I'm going to click on Preview. Now, a row and a column. A row, here's a fun way to think about it. When you row a boat, you go across a lake. It's a row. You're rowing across. When you think of a column, think of a building. I don't know. It's like one of those things I stumble on when people ask me. They're like, so how many columns? I'm like, wait. And then like, for some reason I have to think like, what's the column again? I don't know. So watch this. I have it on preview. I'm not going to include guides. I didn't check this. I don't need those guides, but let's see. We'll turn that on afterwards. We'll experiment together. Now watch this. How many columns do I want? 2, 3, 4. All right. Not done here because I want the spacing. So I want to add a gutter. So all I have to do is I have a 1/4 inch on each side, which means I want a 1/4 inch in the middle, 0.25. Check that out. And this is non-print. Let's see what happens when we add guides. I guess we'd add guides for fun. It really doesn't do much. If you want that in there, that's all I'm doing. Look how easy that is. You want 5? I'll give you 5. How much gutter? Look at that. It's done. How awesome is that? So I'm going to go back to 4 because I just want 4. I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to let go. There we go. All right. Now, we're not done because we got to do a couple more things. Now I'm going to go to folds. Folds, you could keep this on the same. Sometimes I don't care to. Now for a fold. Oh, where's my bleed? There it is. Oh, weird. All right. For a fold, this is how I'm going to do it. Start up here, and I'm going to draw a line. I'm holding shift, and it's just a shorty. All right. Then I'm going to take that line. I'm going to go to properties. In under stroke, we're going to turn it yellow. Folds are sometimes yellow, sometimes they're green. There's somewhat of an industry standard. Don't make it a color of your thing. It should just be one of the CMYK colors. And then, so I got it yellow. And then I'm going to click on the stroke name, and I'm simply going to click on dashed line. That's it. 12 point, it's fine. Don't go beyond that. You don't need to. So it has no fill, a yellow stroke, 1 point, dashed line. And I just did it short right now because I'm going to pull it over there and then watch this trick. I'm going to slowly bring it here. Boom. And I'm going to make sure the dash line goes all the way up to the bleed. And see those magentas? Perfectly centered. Let's then copy paste. Bring it over here. Get it perfectly centered. Boom, boom. And move it up. Is it perfectly centered? Yeah, that thing's locked in. All right, and then copy paste, move it over. Where did that stupid thing come up? There we go. It's locked. It says 0.125 from there. Boom, done. Not done, but we got those 3. Now, if this is why I do this, if you're asking, I'm going to change to the direct select tool. So when I grab the bottom of these 3 lines and I hold down shift and drag them down all the way to the bleed mark, that's how I do it. The reason why I do that is if you have scale stroke effects or something like that turned on, and you just grab those 3 and I just pull straight down on all 3, if you have that turned on, your stroke will grow, your dash lines will change, and everything changes. It's something that you have to be aware of that happens, and whether you have that turned on or off. And people are like, what do you mean turned on or off? So under your settings, under general, and it is scale, stroke, and effects, I turn this on and off per when I need it. The thing is, I don't usually leave items in a stroke format once it gets beyond, like, so mostly like if I'm developing a logo, once my logo is designed, I take every stroke out and make those shapes. So I never have to deal with that. Nobody ever has to deal with it. It's a little bit goofy. So it's something to be aware of. Like, and then the scale corners, that's like if you have a rounded corner, that rounded corner will get smaller as it gets smaller and get bigger as it gets bigger. So if it's at 0.25 and you make it smaller, something to be aware of when you do this. When you're like, oh, the computer did it. Well, yeah, because you had it set, and sometimes there's defaults that do that. So there we go. Now, the other thing, what we're going to do is I'm going to flip back because I want to add more guides, and I'm going to turn on my rulers. Now I feel like I'm doing what I always hate about the book. Some of those books that we use is like I went back and forth. Why are you going back and forth? Because I was talking about stuff. So 8.5. We always want this centered. There's a line going straight through the middle. Now I want guides. I'm going to split my columns. Look how easy that is. I'm just dragging over. I'm on the margin and guides. I'm just boop, let it go. Boop. There we go. So now this is split up. I have 4 columns equally spaced with a margin. Now I'd be like, I wonder if I can go back. Can I adjust this? So say I wanted tighter columns. Let's see if we can do that. Edit, path, split in the grid. Oh, you can't. So once you're done, you're done. This setup, I think I'm good with that because I don't have double here. And sometimes you can make these inside a little bit smaller, a little bit tighter, but I think this is good actually. I would rely on this, that like my text doesn't go past this. You don't want anything really in this fold area. So we're looking good. Like this looks really good to me. Now another like quick tip, I'm going to go under view, guides, and I always lock my guides, but this time I'm going to unlock them. I'm going to make sure I have these 2 unlocked. I'm going to make sure that I have paste remember layers turned on. That's under the hamburger. I'll wait. And then just up at the top, I'm just going to grab everything. I don't need to grab that middle guide because it's going through everything anyway. And all I'm going to do is hit copy. And then I'm going to come over here. And I'm going to make sure I'm clicked on this page. Like I kind of like double click on the dead area. I'm on there. I'm on it. And I'm going to edit, paste in place. And there you go. This page now matches that page. And then I'm going to go, and you can do this one of 2 ways. You can go here and go to template, or here's another way. Double click on it and click template there and hit OK. And then zoom out. And there you have it. 4 columns with folds. Everything's non-print. You have guides to break up everything, and you're good to go. Then you can start designing. Then you make all your other layers, and you start going with it. It's not as hard as you think. There is math somewhat involved. I get it. But I think it's doable. It's all doable. So just review this. So this is for Illustrator. Let's do InDesign. InDesign is almost, I think, easier. And then I found out a couple things in InDesign too. InDesign, let's do the same thing. New file. Oh, get this over here. New file. If you want to hit print, go to print, letter, inches. I want it portrait, so I can just click that. Or landscape, excuse me. Why did I say portrait? And then this is called like 4-fold. Now let's walk down the lane. I want 2 pages, but I do not want them facing each other. Facing pages is for a book. I'm not doing a book. I'm doing one side, the other side. I'm not going to use that. Columns. Well, here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now my column gutter. So if my margin is 0.25, half of 0.25 is 0.125. So I want this to be 0.125. So I'm going to have 4. No, I want it up. I want a 1/4 inch in between each one. Yes, that's correct. Again, if it's not right, if it doesn't look right, you just go back and adjust it. Bleed, 0.25. And we hit create. And we check it out. Looking good, right? We got this page. And I scroll down and I got this page. Now, what we can do is you can work on a parent page and develop your folds and guides in the parent page to have it go across. So I'm going to work in the parent page. I'm going to create a layer, and I'm going to create a layer and just call it folds. And we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to draw a line. Ugh, no. And I'm going to check my properties. And I want no fill. I want it to be yellow. I want the stroke to be dashed. Where's the dash? You know, this is not showing up. Let's get that over there. Stroke. Am I going blind? Oh, type. You can just do one of these, dashed. Not as intuitive as, so type dashed. All right. And you could do, yeah, just keep it at that. I think all that is good. And then so I have my tiny line, and I'm going to do the same thing. It's going to snap to the middle. Then I'm going to copy and paste that. Copy, paste. Set it to the middle. Get it a little bit more level. Just marking the artboard. Use my hand, move over. Copy, paste. There we go. Now I'm going to do what I just did in Illustrator. I'm going to get all three. I'm going to grab it with that tool and just hold shift. So they're perfectly straight all the way to the edge of the bleed. All right. And then now I can keep going. I'm going to add my guides. It stops right in the middle. Like literally, like it's not showing it as much, but I can tell when it snaps. There the green lines came up. It's snapping, and then one right in the middle. There, I got a snap. Now, so those are my folds, my guides. I have my columns. Then we're going to go back to layers. I'm going to call it folds. I'm going to change it to folds and guides. And now you see what I did here. I want you to see, I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to double click on this. And then I'm going to uncheck this. Print layer, no thank you. I don't want it to print because it has the guides and it has the yellow dots. Those don't need to print. Only the printer needs to see those in the native file. So then when I export it, they won't show up. Hit OK. And then see what it does to my layer. It's now italic, meaning I changed this. That's how the indicator. Illustrator, you get a square box. InDesign, you get a italics. And I can lock that. And then I should, because it's a parent page, if I click to page 2, I'm on page 1. If I go to page 2, you're not seeing any difference because they are perfectly matched. Dude, that one took 6 minutes. And that was with me talking about it and stumbling on how to do a dashed line again in InDesign, because I'm not a big dashed line in InDesign user. Look how easy that is. Now you have a beautiful 4-fold document setup. Now, let's go crazy. All right. File, new. I'm going to do a poster. I'm going for like super extra credit. I'm going to do print inches, and I'm going to call it like 8-fold poster. I've never done this. We are doing this together for the first time ever. Bleed, the poster, I go bigger. I go 0.5, CMYK default. I'm going to check more settings. Oh, artboards, I want 2. And so because I went to more settings and I want it in columns, so this is a guaranteed like columns. And then for my spacing, I do want to make sure I actually want 2 inches in between each one. I don't want my bleeds touching. I want a little space. And that was just under more settings right here. I just clicked this, which is, you can change like your number of artboards, blah, blah, blah. That's all I did. And I'm gonna hit create document. And I'm gonna call this margins. You could be like margins, folds. You can just all this on margin folds, guides. Right? I think I can get all that in one. So now I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to go to properties. I'm going to draw a square. For this, I want it 8.5 by 11. All right? Or not 8. I'm going to do a 1/2 inch. So 23 tab 35. Enter. It leaves a 1/2 inch around. Fill. 0 fill. No fill. Why is he so crazy about that? Because I still see people adding fill. And then I'm centering. So it's, size, no fill, magenta, that 1 point, center, and you're kind of like, you're done. But what I'm going to do is for this one, I'm going to copy and then to just do object or edit, paste in place. Boom, that one's done. And then for this one, I'm trying to think like mentally, what do I want? I'm calling like the poster is going to be the back. So for this, then I'm going to turn on my ruler and I'm going to pull a center guide. I think that went off. I think I wasn't very accurate. There we go. And I'm going to pull another guide. So for this one, all I want is like, all I care about is that. It's like I got a margin around the edge. I should actually do looking at it, my margin could be bigger. It is a poster. It's a little bit tight, but I'll leave it. And you can always adjust it. But for this, let's use our new tool. Object, path, split into grid. I want a preview. Let's add those guides. I want 2 rows. I want a row across twice. And then I want 4 columns. And then we add our gutters, our spacing. Let's go 0.25. Oh, that's not enough. 0.5. 0.5. I'm just looking, making sure. I'm going to hit OK. Now, when I click off of that, there they are. Perfectly built. Everything's there. And then on this side, I only truly really need to mark one side of the document. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to click here. I'm going to go off. I'm going to go to properties. 0 fill. Yes. stroke because I'm making a fold now. Yellow, stroke, dashed line, perfect, 1 point. And then I'm just going to make sure. I'm just pull it off, and then let's make sure. Lined up, lined up. Copy, paste. Move it over. Lined up. Copy, paste. There you go. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to go to direct select. Oh, now I can't. I have to lock these. So just because I don't want to grab this, the nice part too is, look, when you just do one, they all select, and I could go to object lock selection. All right. And then I'm going to go up here. Oh, that just did the guides. So then I'm just going to do this. Object, lock, selection. Because I just want to be able to grab just those dashed lines and then hold down shift, pull them all the way down. And I know, but you can see, and I'm going to show you, they are there. They are dashed and they are lines. And then we just pull one last one. We need a fold here. And then I'm just going to hold down shift and push it. Oh, it doesn't like it when you do that always. I don't know like why sometimes you can like do this pull and it works and then sometimes it doesn't. Again, I'm going to hold down shift to make a constraint. And there are my dashed lines. So my folds are there. I don't need to indicate the folds on this page, only on the front. But if I wanted to, you could indicate those. Like I can just simply, or maybe we should just for practice. I'm going to copy because you know what? It doesn't hurt. And here's the better part. You know what? I'm going to say you should now. You know why you should? Is because you don't want like an eyeball on a fold or like something really important right on a fold, even though you're going to try to flatten it into a poster. But all I did was grab those lines. All right. Copy, edit, paste in place. Now I got my folds. I'll zoom in so you can see them. There they are. Perfect. And if you wanted to, you could add a guide and be like, well, the yellow is, you know, I need the yellow there for the printer, but I can't really see that yellow really good. Just throw a guide on top. Look at that. Now we got an 8-fold poster where this is all in columns. So when you fold it up, you know, you fold it in half and then you fold it, that when you have all your panels, that when you open it, you have one side as a poster. Now you have to think, this is the crazy part. So if you do something like this, if you fold it in half, one side is right side up, one side is upside down. It depends on how you want people to view and look at your information. So that's always too, when I talked about the last time, and I was like, hey, you got to make sure you're like doing a little piece of paper and you're writing on it and seeing like, where does each fold end up happening and where do I want people to see them? That's super important. Now I wouldn't do this in InDesign because the poster aspect of it, and there's a lot of dissimilarities between the two pages. And so in that case, I don't use InDesign. But InDesign, I like it more for just doing complete matching pages. Let's do new document. Let's do one more. I'll do a weird one. Trying to think. I want it. My width 16. My height is 4. That's a little small. Let's do 25. What am I doing here? Do you see the math? It's divisible by 4. 5 times 4 is 20, which means I'm going to end up with 4 5-inch panels onto which I will design. I want no facing pages. I want 2 pages. I don't want them facing. I want 4. And so if my margin's a 1/2 inch, oh, actually I'm going to go to 1/4 inch, and then this is going to be half of that. Bleed 0.5. I'm going to hit create. I want to change this. All right. So can we edit this now? I always forget if you can change the columns. It's quiet now because that's margins, that's bleeds. Cancel. Because usually at this point, you know what I do? If I don't like it, because I don't know, I'd look it up. So help columns. You can do that. Huh. How does it not have it? It's like a normal thing. I want to do InDesign. So this is what I'd do. I know the other way. You know the other way is I do this all the time. I'm like, oh, the document's wrong. I just close it and then open a new one. Just rebuild it because it takes 1 minute. InDesign, adjust columns. Adjust column width. You're just gonna use the select tool and drag the column edges. No. I've never done that. Oh, you can't do that. They're talking about typography. All right, let's open new. File, new. Document. Saves all my info. It saved it all. So all I want to do is change this to that, create. That's how I wanted to look. So that's why sometimes like trying to find that place to adjust it, but I promise you, I will look that up and I will note it for us and get that going. So now the same thing, parent page, layer, folds and guides. I'm going to, 2.5. And then you can split these. Split these. I'm just pulling in from the edge. Let's add our dashed lines. I wish you could see how much I'm using the keyboard. You like have one of those double, and like I have a special like, it's called a shortcut panel. I program it to like 40 different shortcuts that I just have to tap. So like when you see the name copy come up down here, I'm using that. Oh, look at that. I remembered the old things. So, all right, let's go to properties. Let's go to make no fill, the stroke. We want it to, I hate that it does that. I got to pull it off the page. I got to rearrange this. So when I'm working that it doesn't extend to the right, I wish it would extend to the left. I'm going to go to dashed line. I'm going to make sure it's yellow. Close that. No, I don't want that. Okay. Put properties back. Yeah, why does it go up to the left? There's no screen there. Like, I don't have a third screen. I don't know why it's doing that. All right, copy paste. Plop her in. Shift on over. Copy paste. Now this works. I'm doing 4 because I said 8 page. You want to do 10 page? You had 5. You just, the math changes. That's all you're doing. That's all that's different. Zoom out. I want to see all 3 of those. Grab those. Let's see, pull them down. I'm watching my stroke. It stayed at 1 point. I don't have the setups on. Folds. I go to pages. I check 1. I check 2. I go to layers. I lock it. I double click on it and turn off that print. Make sure that it's italic. And there we go. And now I have this set up for different size pages. The world's your oyster. You can do whatever you want. Setting these up isn't as hard as you think. It's just kind of knowing what to do. And that's why I decided to do 4 of them for you. Play around. Figure out what you want. Write it out. And then when you get this, if you can print, please print it. Double it. Like, you need to double check where you want your cover, where you want your back page. Because you can fold these in such a way that this could be the back and this could be the front. And then it's like a spiral infold. But you have to know that before you start designing. So when I always like draw it out, see how you want it, and then you got to fold it to make sure that it is exactly as you envisioned it in your creative mind. Awesome. I'm really excited. Like, I love the, like, multiple pages. Like, there's so many weird things you can do with like follow through, and like I want the image to go across, and then but not on this page, and like how does it fold, and maybe something weird happens. I want to show you. I'll show you. Somebody did something. I just posted it on Instagram and everything, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. X. Sorry, we have an old. I'm not going to get into the politics of it, but look at this one. Wait a minute. Yep, this is an example. Side 1, side 2. And when it folds in, and it gives a portrait of Milton Glaser. Isn't that rad? How did they figure this out? You know what? They searched the internet. They had an idea in mind, and they went on the internet and found these templates that showed this is how you fold in order to get this to happen. So there's other experimentation out there. This is where it gets fun and you really push it, and I'm just like, whoa, blown away. So play around, have some fun. You are designers. Let's do some rad designs. All right, that's it for me. Take care, and I will talk to you midweek. I think I'm going to run through an InDesign design again, start to finish, and show you a couple of tricks and tips along the way as well. Some newer things, how to do like maybe duotones. I'm like, want to do some duotone things. It can make some amazing looks and feels, even though it's like a little bit trendy. It does have, it is quite striking. So, all right, cool. I will talk to you later. Again, reach out to me. Come on in. Tuesdays, Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. I'm here in this wonderful room with the best equipment around. The Corvettes of equipment. If you're like, I can't get this to do this, just come on in. Stop wasting your time. Come on in. Hang out with me, and let's do some awesome design. So, all right, that's it for me. Take care. See you later.